The High Court in Johannesburg has set aside a decision by the former interim board of the SABC to appoint Mafoko Security Patrols. This despite the security company not being the recommended service provider. The High Court has also dismissed the application by the same interim board of the SABC to review and set aside the SIU report recommending that they be declared delinquent. We're now joined by Kganyago, Special Investigating Unit Spokesperson. Thank you very much, Kganyago. I understand you are with us this afternoon for your time. Perhaps let's start with a little bit of context. How did we get here?
Thank you very much, and thank you to your viewers. In 2017, there was a contract that was supposed to be entered into by the SABC for security in the building and the OB vans. And then what then happened is that the process of the tender was started, and then there were companies that came in. Ultimately, a company called Mjaeli was the front runner. But because of the fact that this matter was about a large amount of money, it was about over 185 million, it had to go to the board. But then the board decided on its own to overlook the company that got number one, that was recommended, and they took number two on the basis that the BE scores are of the number two is higher than the number one, even though they were told that that was factored into during the process of evaluation. Therefore, when we came to investigate as the SIU, we found all of that, and we indicated that this should not have been done, because at that point they had awarded the contract to Mafoko, who was not supposed to get that contract. And they then said, we went outside of our mandate, and they called a press conference, and then ultimately, it was an interim board at the time. Ultimately, they took us to court. And that is why now today, they have lost that court bid, because they wanted to set aside our report. But subsequent to that, we then also went to court to set aside that contract, which is the second judgment. Therefore, that judgment came back also saying that that contract is set aside, and that is why we are here today.
You did rightfully mention that that contract was over 185 million rand, which was over 2 million rand more than the contract price for Mjaeli Security. Just how much was given to Mafoko?
Mafoko was given the whole amount of their contract, because they had a contract of about 5 years. Therefore, it started in 2017 and it ended in 2022. But now that the contract has been set aside, what then the court said is that they need to give us, as Mafoko, their audited statements from that time when they were dealing with this contract, and then SABC must also do the same. And therefore, at that point, we want to check, because now the contract is unlawful, we want to check what profit they had made during that period, and that money, which was supposed to be their profit, has to be returned to us and the SABC.
What are the chances?
No, the chances are there. The fact of the matter is that company is still operating within South Africa, and at the moment, they are asked by the court to send those documents within 30 days. If they don't do that, they will be going against the court. Therefore, at the end of it all, they would have worked for the 5 years without any profit.
To seek to declare the interim board at the time delinquent speaks to what? Was there a relationship between some of the board members and Mafoko?
When we did the investigation, we found that the interim board at the time had been warned several times by the officials, by Treasury, by many other people, that what they are doing is unlawful, and they continued to do that. Therefore, it showed that they would not have worked in the interest of the SABC at the time.
And just in terms of, if you will, I guess, consequent management, because that board is no longer there, what then happens, or is that a matter for the public broadcaster to deal with?
Obviously, that is the matter that they will deal with. There are no more members of the board, all of them. But from where we are sitting, we want the money to come back. Consequence management for us is for this company that they've chosen to bring back the money that we're supposed to have as profit, and that money can be used for other things. And that is punishment enough for us to say they will give you back what you would have spent during the period. And anything above that was a profit, it must be brought back because they are not allowed to benefit from an unlawful contract.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time this afternoon. Kaizer Kganyago speaks for the Special Investigating Unit.